Hey everybody, Tommy Norman with the Nashville Blues and Roots Alliance here with Frog the Blues Cat again. Got a great interview for you today. I've got Alex Warner, a 15-year-old guitarist, musician, singer and songwriter out of central Pennsylvania, but he calls Nashville a second home with his band Soul Sunrise, who he comes down here and performs with often. He just performed with them earlier this year at the International Blues Challenge as a youth delegate. He's also won several awards with the Central PA Music Awards, a couple from the last couple of years, Best Instrumentalist, Best Original Song, and the Youth Showcase and things like that. Great guitarist, starting to explore out and release some new music this year. We have a great conversation, and I hope you like it. As always, if you are not a member of the Nashville Blues and Roots Alliance, please go to bluesandroots.org. That's hard to say. And join up as a member. It's $25 for a year, and it goes to support all the great things we do in the community as far as the International Blues Challenge and Blues in Schools and programs like these interviews that we do, etc., etc. So sign up and help support the blues community. And now let's talk to Alex Warner. Hey everybody, Tommy Norman here with the Nashville Blues and Roots Alliance. I'm here with Alex Warner. Thank you so much for coming out and talking to us. We are at Papa Turney's Barbecue, where you're going to be playing here in just a little bit, opening up for the Piper and the Hard Times.
Yep.
What's the official name of the band? It's
so
evolved.
Yes, it is evolved. So right now it is Alex Lee Warner and Soul Sunrise.
Okay.
But, we are thinking about changing it to just Soul Sunrise, because it makes it more.
All right.
It's our band.
But if you leave your name in there, they can't get rid of it.
That is true. That is true.
You have to be careful. You hear all these interviews with these old bands that before they made it, they would change their name all the time, and then they made it, and whatever name they were on is that. So you have to be careful that's the name you might get stuck with. But that's a good name. Sounds good. All right.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing that happened with Led Zeppelin for a little while.
And I think The Who as well was another one where that was just the name they had at that time.
Yep.
But, everybody says like, oh, that sounds like a stupid name, but Cake is a stupid name, but that's a pretty cool band. Yeah. So once you've established, I don't think anybody cares what you were actually called at that time.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start a little bit back to how did you get started in this? You're a young man, so tell us how old you are.
So I'm 15 years old.
15 years old. How long have you been playing?
I've been playing for. Geez, I'm old. Probably about 7-8 years.
7-8 years. Okay. What got you to pick it up?
Well, I gotta give a shout out to my dad, because my dad was a big enthusiast of music.
Okay.
And
does he play?
No.
Okay, just a fan.
Yes. Yeah, just a fan. So my dad listened to a ton of bands, live, all the rock bands, but every once in a while, he would listen to some blues. And one of those guys that I first listened to, and I was sitting in my living room, and I was sitting there, he played a video, and it was Stevie Ray Vaughan, Voodoo Child, at Austin City Limits. And that's what sparked it for me. And before I got my first ever guitar, I was playing on baseball bats, acting like it was a guitar.
Right.
Because I didn't have anything, so.
Mine was a tennis racket.
Yeah. Yeah, I went back and forth with it.
So you see Stevie Ray Vaughan, and you don't have a guitar yet. That's still just that you're in baseball phase, and then you say, I want a guitar.
Yep, and it took about probably 4 months, 6 months. Christmas came around. I got my first guitar. My parents found it off of, I guess it was Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
It was a nameless one, but it was a S style.
Right.
And I played that for 2 years. Then 2 years after that, I had gotten another guitar, and that was my first real thing.
And we'll get to the new guitar in just a second.
Yeah.
It's right over there. We're going to get to that in just a second.
Yep.
It's funny because, I think my first guitar was like a PV Nitro, and I got cheap
Yeah.
because it had fallen off and the headstock had gotten busted off a little bit.
Yep.
I got it super cheap, and it was a piece of crap. But you know what? I miss that guitar.
Oh, yeah.
I regret every guitar I ever got rid of.
Yeah.
I'm a hoarder. I want all of them, even the bad ones, because
Yeah.
they mean something to you, right? Did you still have that first one?
Unfortunately, I don't. I really wish I never got rid of it because it's definitely a project guitar. You could have made that something like insanely good.
Right.
And I gave it away. I wasn't going to use it anymore because the first real guitar I had gotten, I was like, well, what's the point in having two guitars that look the exact same and this one's better? And I was young and stupid, and I didn't think about it, and I really wish I never would have got rid of it.
Yeah, he hadn't learned the guitar formula. How many guitars do you need? N plus 1, where N is the current number of guitars.
Yeah. Right now, speaking of that, right now I think I have about 8 or 9 guitars.
Okay.
Right now, so I'm doing pretty good.
That's right. That's for a 15-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good habit. You're definitely gonna once you get up to my age, you'll have that big room of all just guitars.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right. So we hear Stevie Ray Vaughan. We get that first kind of no-caster guitar start playing. Do you take lessons? Do you teaching yourself? How's that going?
So I'll run you through it a little bit. The history of it's a little weird because I'm half and half with it. I'm self-taught, but I'm also taught by other people. So my first lessons was with a guy down in Shrewsbury, PA, and I was there for a couple months, and then there's a little cool shop down there called the Guitar Spot.
Okay.
And that's owned by Chad. That's the owner. And he was showing me around, when you're that small and you have a bunch of Fender guitars and every guitar you can possibly think of, and you're walking through it, you're seeing all that, he's showing me through. And I found like a Strat, and I played Voodoo Child because that was the only song I knew. And the funny thing about it is that's actually my first song I ever learned.
Right.
But I only learned the start of it. I didn't learn the full thing until like a couple months afterwards.
Right.
So I was playing that, and there's a teacher there by the name of Trey Alexander. And he came out. He was super stoked to see me. I was super stoked to see him. He started playing. I was like in awe. And it's something really special.
And you're about 8, 9? Older,
9 or 10.
9 or 10, okay.
And so we were talking back and forth, and we ended up going there. And if anybody knows about Trey out there, Trey is a 2006 Guitar Hero. 2006 Guitar Hero is pretty insane to think about. And he has a ton of people he teaches. He's a really good guy. He's super awesome. He's really good. And I went to him for a while. He taught me all the basic stuff that I needed to know about soloing and, all the normal stuff. And then COVID hit, and that did not go so well for guitar lessons. So I started doing Zoom classes online, and I did that for a while. And in those Zoom classes, I met somebody by the name of Quentin Jones.
Okay.
And Quentin Scott Jones is I would say he's a pretty well-known guitar player in the guitar world.
And where is he from?
Lancaster.
Okay.
Lancaster, PA. And he played in Reach Around, Rodeo Clown, and he played with Rocket 86 with George Thorogood, all the big guys, all the cool guys of what do they call it?
Kind of that bar band scene.
Rock. Yeah. And he taught me everything I need to know about the absolute basics because I was not, when I first started playing, I wasn't taught the basics right away. Like all the basic stuff, I pretty much just jumped right into the heavy stuff. So I had to get my feet wet again.
To learn all the riffs.
Oh yeah,
That's
like
what my dad used to complain.
Yeah.
When the first year I played guitar, I could play every heavy metal riff out there.
Yep.
But I couldn't play a whole song through to save my life.
Yeah, that's how I was. And for a while it was like that. And Quentin helped me.
Okay.
And, he's my mentor. He taught me everything I need to know about business, my music, how I was playing, how to like really know your instrument. And I can't thank him enough for how much he taught me. Also Trey, and concurrently right now, I'm self-taught right now.
Okay, so we come out of COVID. You got your chops up because you've been practicing. You have nothing better to do but woodshed.
Yeah.
We come out of that. So what starts happening after that?
Well, I went to we started learning about guitar, open mic nights, and we learned about that, and we decided to go to one, and it was like a little small space there called Dream Lights.
And is this in York somewhere, or is this nearby?
This is in York.
Okay.
So there's a little small place in York called Dream Lights, and for a while they were doing open mic nights.
Okay.
And I did my first one, and it turns out that there were scouts there because it was the first one.
Okay.
So it was like basically like the grand opening of it.
Right.
And there was a ton of scouts there
Okay.
from owners of like, bars and venues and all that stuff. And I ended up starting the gig.
Right.
And I didn't have a band, so we didn't know what to do, but we realized that there was backing tracks, that saved me. And we started doing solo stuff, and I was starting to go around. My first gig ever was at a small little bar. It's called Gift Horse.
Okay.
And it's basically, if you know about the Appel is like a huge theater in York.
Okay.
A lot of people played there, like Joe Bonamassa.
Okay.
Joe Satriani, I know, has played there.
So is that like the Ryman of York?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right.
And so it's right across from it diagonally. And I started playing there, and I started gigging there more and more. And then I started getting more stuff. I was gigging at more bars and more places. And then I realized that after a while, it's like the solo thing's cool.
Right.
But it's so much more better when you're playing with other musicians.
Right. Because you're limited. I can only play to this track, and I'm starting in whenever it goes. I can't really improvise very much.
Yeah, because it's like, the thing with backing tracks is backing tracks are great to really get souped up in your skills.
Right.
But the only downside to it is it's from the heart, but it's not from everyone's heart.
Sure.
So we decided to go look for some people. We found a couple of people we could play with. We started doing that.
Are these kids your age? Are these more seasoned players? Who did you start playing with first?
It's kind of hard to say because it was a mix.
All right.
It was both a little bit of kids and seasoned players.
Okay.
I do believe my first gig I played with a band was seasoned.
Okay.
And it was good. It's very good. And thank God I had them because it probably would have not went the greatest.
It's a lot different than a track.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And and I started playing more and more with them and doing more stuff. And then this last year it was last year. I decided to go find some kids that can play. I found some kids. We started playing some gigs. We ended up opening for like a ton of festivals. It was really good. It was really fun too. And and we went with that for a while. And then my PA band's still playing.
Okay.
But I'm not. We decided to take a little break from it. Because I really want to focus on this band in Nashville. Because in Nashville, I met these kids, Luke, Hayden, Eli, and BB and me. And
now, how do you meet them? Are you coming to Nashville pretty regularly, or what happens?
We decided for the first time that we would take the shot to go to Nashville because I really wanted to go see the guitar vintage shops, and it was all new to me. And we decided to go on my birthday, and
it was his 14th birthday because it's last
14th,
year. 14th. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And 15th.
This is the 15th birthday. Okay.
Yep. And it was funny because we were gonna fly, but we decided not to And that was kind of a mistake because we didn't realize driving about over 1,000 miles was, that rough on your body. Because we've only drove like Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Nothing like crazy. The farthest we ever went was Gatlinburg. That was like my 12th birthday.
Right.
But so we drove down and we got to the hotel. The hotel up in Nashville, Margaritaville, Wyndham. And that's a really cool spot because everything, including guitar shops, the Ryman, all that stuff is basically right downtown. And you can just walk down there within like 5-10 minutes. And we did that, and we had a ton of fun. And before we had left, we had talked to Papa Turney. And Mike is such a great guy. I can't thank him enough for him giving me that.
Great supporter of the blues. Yeah.
Yep. And I believe it was it might have been a Friday night or Thursday night. I'm not sure. Or no, it was a Wednesday because it was the jam.
Okay.
So we went down on Wednesday. We came and play. I had a gray Stratocaster. I did not have this one.
Okay. And that's with Goose and the guys. Was that who was doing it that night?
Yep.
Okay.
And I went up and played, and it sounded like a lot of people were impressed. Thank God. And Mike decided, IBCs are coming up.
Right.
And we were like, we want to get something rolling. And
International Blues Challenge, for anybody who doesn't know. Okay.
Yep. And BB was on the drums that night too. And we knew
and BB, so BB, for anybody who doesn't know, BB is Brandon, who is Papa T's grandson, who also plays drums, plays in the house band often, so you meet BB.
Yep, I met BB, and we were thinking about maybe just adding a bassist, and we were like, well, you can't have a damn good blues band without all the other stuff. So we were like, why don't we add a couple other players in?
Right.
And that's when Luke came in, bassist. Hayden came in, that was harmonica.
Right.
And Eli, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal keyboard player. Honestly, some of the best I've met. And we got the thing rolling, and we instantly clicked, and it was very fun the second time I came down.
How often did you get to rehearse, because everybody's sort of spread out, before you went to the IBCs?
Yeah, so a lot of people do not know this, by the way. Everybody's going to know now. So the way it worked out is we knew what songs we were going to play, and when we figured that out, I was practicing them, on and off, figuring stuff out, figuring out what I should add to it, what I should do to it, what we all think. And,
but are you playing pretty much, we're choosing this song, this recording of this song,
yep.
So practice it that way.
Yeah.
And then you're figuring out, all right, I want to do something a little different on top of it.
Yep.
But that's how you practice separately, is everybody played to the same track.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everyone except me was all here practicing on the jams and all that stuff while I was going. So I was basically getting their recordings that they practiced from with, I think it was like Mike playing or like,
right.
Another guitar player filling in. And I pretty much just jammed to that, figured everything out to it. And we had, I laugh every time I think about it because it's insane how we pulled it off. But it took us, we only had 2 practices, and they were very short.
And was that
because
right before you went there, or did you come down here beforehand?
This is right when I came.
Okay.
And when I came down, that was when the snowstorm had came in, and we had 2 practices, and they were very cut short. I mean, it was maybe 30 minutes.
Right.
For both of them. And we had practiced through that. I had got my stuff down. They got their stuff down. And that snowstorm came in, like I said, and it was such a bad thing that happened. It happened at the worst time it could have possibly happened. And that's the other thing too is when we did go down to Memphis and we did, when we headed down that way, that's when it hit like -5, -6.
All the water pipes broke everywhere. Yep.
And it happened right in Memphis too, right when we got down there, and I believe Mike's room ended up not having heat, and that was a little rough for him. We didn't have fresh water either, so you're basically like skimping around trying to figure out what we're gonna do, because I mean this is like the worst time it could have possibly happened.
Right.
And we ended up just going down to the restaurants and doing all that stuff, and I believe that was 2 days before the IBCs happened. So the first day, we just went around, the normal stuff, like look at Beale Street.
How was that? Was that your first time there?
That was. I was shocked. It was definitely a different environment.
Well, especially during the IBC when, everybody on that street is a blues fanatic.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's some damn good players down there. I mean, they're really good. There's some damn good players down there, and we caught a couple people playing down there that are like really good. I mean, and we didn't realize it. I forget her name. I can't remember it right now. I think it's like Danny something. I know she played with Kenny Wayne Shepherd a couple nights before that, but she was incredible. There was a bunch of blues bands down there that were just like insanely good.
Right.
Like they knew what they were doing. And
well, it's the best of the best from every
Yep.
blues society goes down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the the first night we were there, we went to the international one, and like the Italian guys and the one from France. I mean, they were just crazy.
The guys from France were pretty incredible. We got to see them at IVCs right after we got off, and it was just like wow. I mean, they were like really tight.
Well, and they also had their own thing. That was kind of like that wasn't the Steve or Yvonne kind of. Most of us were girl. That was not like their own little thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing to kind of go down there and see, these influences of people who, we take it for granted. Like, I grew up here and lived in Memphis and lived off of Beale Street all the time.
Yep.
And so you kind of take it for granted. It's around us all the time.
Yeah.
And then you find people from Europe especially or South America who.
And they just have a completely new twist on it.
And they also just like, they're so enamored with it because it's not around them all the time. It's not something that's ingrained in the culture of everywhere they're at like it is here.
Yeah.
And it's because that's the other thing is you see so many fans from international that just are just so excited to be there. And meet everybody.
Yeah.
So you're there, you play.
Yep.
I was there tonight. You played. You guys did well. Repped your guys well. How did that feel? How did you feel the set went?
Well, I felt pretty good. I mean, when you're down there in that environment and you got, all those blues players down there, you constantly have music running through your head.
Right.
You can't stop thinking about it. And the adrenaline boost just hits you. It's one hell of an experience. And
did you have any trepidations of like, there's all these guitarists with their arms crossed looking at me, you get any of that? That happens a lot in Nashville.
I got a little bit of that. I didn't get it so much as what I thought I was going to. But I did notice it. I thought it was very funny. And, I mean, it's just one of those things.
But the best face you can get is one of these. Ugh.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's when they're like, ooh, like, that's, I remember coming here, there's a guy named Will Beeman who used to run one of the jams here. Young kid like yourself. Now he's an older kid, plays down on Broadway. And I came here when he was 16, and he made me want to practice harder and sell all my stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's the best compliment I can usually give someone is like when you see somebody. So you're down there, you're playing, you see some of these little stank faces like, yeah, I wish I could do that. You guys get done. What does that feel like?
That felt is crazy because it's one of those things where you're in the heart of the moment and you can't stop thinking about it, like I said, and it's very different. You feel very accomplished, and that night was very very special to us too because we barely had practice, plus snowstorm, plus communications. I also have a really funny story I'm going to tell very quickly.
All right.
So at our hotel, the night we were going to leave Memphis, or we were going to leave in the morning. It was like 3 a.m. and we came home from Texas Roadhouse for a celebration dinner, and we went, did that, came back. Everybody went in the room. I had to go to the bathroom, and I went in the bathroom, and the whole floor was just covered in water.
Because the pipes are busted.
Yep.
Right.
Sprinkler system completely broke. I mean, is completely broken. I mean, there was water coming out of the electrical sockets, the boards in the roof, and all that. It was super rough. And Mike had gave me a Blues Junior that I just gotten, but it didn't work. So we were going to repair it, but the one thing that can't happen to it is get damaged.
Right.
And it's sitting right on top of the water, right from the electrical socket. Thank God the
You didn't
cord,
have it plugged in.
Yeah, the cord was completely away. It wasn't wet. And it was all good. I threw everything on the bed, including the guitar, because that was also like in the water too. So we pretty much rushed out, got everything cleaned up.
Everything's okay.
Yep.
All right.
We went to the other room, got situated, and we got ready to head on the road. Then we get on the road, and then there's a bunch of car accidents. I believe we saw somebody slide off the road.
Right.
Which was
because everything because it all melted.
Oh, yeah.
And then refroze right back again.
And it was all black ice too, which made it even 10 times harder to drive. And yeah, so we drove down there overnight. We got there, I think it was like 10 in the morning, something like that. And we got situated, and we were all good. And then we found the water was completely not good at all anymore. And then IBCs came around, and then this is the second day. The second day, we had done masterclass. And I met a guitar player down there that was in part of the masterclass. Super fun to see other young...
Was that Mr. Sip or...
Mr. Sip.
Yep.
That was his name. And he was incredible.
He gave a really good workshop. He did.
Oh, yeah. He was really good to watch. And I definitely learned some stuff. And I played with him. I saw other people play. It was a great time I had. We went down to the other guitar workshops. And then I went back to the hotel. I got ready for IBCs. And then IBCs came around. And that's when we were all ready and getting hyped up and all that good stuff. And
but that's that's part of the fun, is the road story, adventure.
Oh, yeah.
You'll have that forever.
Oh, yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about guitar. Let's pull that guitar out. Tell me a little bit about this guitar.
So this one is my new number one. This is I'll take this out real quick. This is a very special guitar. So we were getting emails, I think it was 8 months. We didn't realize we were getting an email from the guy that makes these. And we thought, because you know how it goes, like people want you to play their stuff. They want you to, just the promo stuff. Well, we didn't realize this guy was serious.
Right.
And,
it's hard to weed them through sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And my good buddy Trey was like, "Are you getting messages and emails from these guys?" And we were like, "Yeah." And then he was like, they want to build you a guitar. I was like, "Oh." So we were like, we saw their work, and Trey had showed me all their work.
Right.
I went on, looked. I was like, "This is pretty damn cool."
That's beautiful stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's all natural too. I mean, there's no
and it's all like reclaimed wood, isn't it? It's something like that.
It's all wood.
Yeah.
So it's these are woods he gets from like mills,
Yeah.
And they're all cool places to be because they're all unique.
Do you know like the spot where this came from?
Yep.
Oh,
So
that's really cool.
I'll run through it really quick. So this top is spalted maple. I believe this came from. I know this came from Africa.
Right.
I'm not totally sure where this came from. The sycamore that's in this is. I also don't remember where that's from. That's also overseas, international.
Right.
Also African wood. You'll be surprised about this, and I want you to guess the neck.
Is it ebony?
Nope. So I want you to guess what neck this is.
Okay. I don't know. All right, you're gonna have to tell me. I'm not sure.
So it's extremely uncommon. Like it's really rare to see them on guitars. It's a cherry neck.
Okay.
And we were going back and forth on what we were going to pick because we weren't sure if cherry was going to be the good idea. We were going to go with like, maple.
Right.
Something just like that looks like this but roasted maple. And then they had a cherry neck guitar there. And we played it and we were like, wow.
And what's it, so maple's supposed to be snappy and rosewood's supposed to be this. What is a cherry neck? What is its kind of tonality?
So from what I understand from playing it for a while, it's really odd to explain it because like you can make it kind of do both.
Okay.
Like if you really like get in there, it gets like twangy.
Okay.
But like as soon as you get like really deep into it and you just start playing like that heavy stuff,
right?
It's like it sounds like a Les Paul.
And it feels smooth.
Oh yeah.
Really smooth neck.
The guys that make this, they're incredible at their jobs. I mean,
and let's shout out. We haven't even said who it is yet. So
yeah.
Let's give them a shout out.
Twin Dicks Guitars. I am fully endorsed by them, and they do great work. They're two guys, Twin Dicks, with the same name. Don't think it's the other, other thing. It's Twin Dicks. They make incredible guitars.
Right.
And
it's beautiful. I mean, this.
Oh yeah.
The wood right there. And are these like JB Juniors? What do you got in there?
So.
Hold that up a little bit. I don't think.
Okay. I'm sorry.
They can't see that. That's all right.
So you'll be surprised.
Okay.
I also kind of want you to guess this too.
So I would say JB Junior, but that's because that's what I have in mind.
Yep.
But sometimes I'll see people put like the 59s in there or something like that. What have you got in there?
Yeah. So it stuns a lot of people all the time. These are actually all humbuckers.
Right.
So all of them are humbucker. They're ZZ Top special limited edition, wherever
like
they
the
are.
little pearly, kind of like a miniature pearly gates. Okay.
Yeah. So it's when ZZ Top was like. So what he did was he put humbuckers in pretty much a Strat,
right.
But he shrank them down to that.
Sure. Right.
And he rewired it. It's same wiring as pretty much pearly gates are, and.
Do you have them coil tap? Like, can you go to a
Yep.
single coil?
So
oh, nice.
This is a coil tap. So as soon as I coil tap, it does go to single coil.
Okay. All of them or just?
All of them.
All of them. Nice.
And so as soon as I take this off, humbucker, as soon as I put it on, all single coils.
Very cool.
There's a mid boost when I go to my mid.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, rest is very simple.
Nice.
2 tone knobs. A Wilkinson floater.
Nice.
So you can do the Dimebag Daryl stuff with the, really get in there with it. And this fingerboard is also the same wood as this is.
Okay.
So the pick guard's wood, but this is also wood, but they're all the same wood.
Gotcha.
Nice. I forget what the name of this wood is, but if I figure it out, I'll definitely tell you.
I'll put links to like the site so they can go in. I went on the site and kind of shopped around. They got some really nice stuff up there.
Oh yeah.
But that is definitely a beautiful guitar.
Oh yeah.
So things are heating up here. So let's talk about what's next for you, and we'll kind of roll it out here. So what's next for you guys? We're playing tonight.
So we're playing tonight. I won't be playing with them for a while.
Okay.
I,
We're going to do IBCs again.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to be doing the IBCs again. That's such a great, cool experience to do. So after this, from what I understand, I know I'm going to come back down probably summer.
Okay.
And be back down to play again because, I mean, it's Nashville.
Right.
I'm having a lot of fun. And we'll be playing down, I don't remember the first name of it, but it's a hotel down there. It's a really roomy space down there. It's really good. It's down at the Juke Joint Festival. And I'll be playing down there tonight. Or not tonight, Saturday, which is tomorrow.
Okay.
And probably doing like one more thing Sunday.
Then heading back up to Pennsylvania for a while.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
All right. We'll be looking forward to you coming back down this summer, and we'll be looking forward to the IBC and you guys participating in that. I sure appreciate you sitting down with me. You've got to get up here and play in a little bit, so I don't want to keep it too long.
Yep.
Thanks again.
Thank you,
and
Tom.
we'll put all your links and all that stuff so everybody can find your site and find out about your guitars and all that.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.